Tonight on Bear News, we take a look at the inner workings of the Hollywood blockbuster.
And if that wasn't enough, we give you a look at the inner workings of this show.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Gavin Burlack.
And I'm John Warner, filling in for Ben Shoemate this week.
Although the season of giving is not quite here, there's no need to wait until Christmas to exercise some generosity. The Mexican American Studies Society is hosting a canned food drive from November 11th to the 22nd. Donations can be dropped off at one of 3 locations: the Hispanic Studies Office, Marcus Garvey Cultural Center, or the Cesar Chavez Cultural Center. The Non-Perishables and Canned Goods Collective will benefit the Longmont Youth Center, which helps students and families through numerous no-cost lunch and after-school programs. And if you're still in the giving mood, you might think about helping the Toys for Tots drive on campus. The School of Communications supports this cause every year, trying to collect new, unwrapped toys for the Marine Corps program. The Marines have been delivering toys since 1947, and going into this season, they've delivered more than 560 million toys to 258 million kids. You can drop off your toy by December 2nd. You can just drop it by the School of Communications office at Candelaria, room 1265. And if you can get more information at toysfortots.org.
Calling all aspiring Billy Wilders and Nora Ephron's, the university hosted Making the Hollywood Blockbuster, a seminar about screenwriting Wednesday evening in Lindau Auditorium. Bear News reporter Holly McKibbin sat on the event to give us the rundown.
Fade in. Interior Lindau Auditorium. Night. Writer and producer Alvaro Rodriguez shares his screenwriting career with students tonight.
It's our job as writers to build ourselves, but also to build our worlds.
Rodriguez draws from his newest creation, a Netflix animated series, Seis Manos. Opening up the event to audience questions, it's time to jot down some wise words.
He used a metaphor of a constellation as in people that will support your art and work with you.
I'm not the captain, but I have to work well with the other writers, and we all have to have we all kind of serve a different purpose.
Interior Lindau Auditorium. Fade out. For Bear News, I'm Holly McKibbin.
And maybe we can even recruit some of our attendees to write our scripts.
Now, when you think about libraries, you think about borrowing books, right? But buying them? That was true last week when the Friends of Michener Library held their major fundraiser, the annual book sale. The event welcomed students, staff, faculty, and the community of Greeley to buy books, music sheets, CDs, records, and DVDs for prices between 50 cents and $5. Bear News reporter Caitlin Stoddard took it all in so she could tell you all about it.
Inside Michener Library, the community of UNC bought books, CDs, and DVDs at the annual Friends of the UNC Library's book sale. I asked 2 students what the book sale means to them.
I really like it because just like there's a lot of really good books, and I was just in the library, so.
I like it because as a student there's a lot of books that we really need, and it helps us out learn more about our area studies.
At the end of the day, it truly does seem like most people are happy with what they have purchased. Reporting for Bear News, I am Caitlin Stoddard.
The proceeds from the book sale helps the university libraries, and those low prices really mount up. Last year, the proceeds helped the library staff have more artwork from local artists and hang the artwork in the Maury Michener Art Gallery. And what made the event so successful is people showing up and buying more than one thing. And if you missed this Friends book sale, don't fear, because there's another one during spring semester. If you watch Bear News regularly, you're probably used to seeing our pretty faces every episode.
Or Ben's, mostly.
But work in the studio stretches far beyond us anchors. We couldn't pull this show off on our own. This week, we wanted to tell you all about an average day in the studio and the hardworking people behind the scenes of what you know as Bear News.
Welcome to a new semester of Bear News. I am Ben Shoemate.
And I'm Gavin Burlack.
All that and more coming up on this week's Bear.
Welcome to room 1315 in Candelaria Hall,
on Tanner,
otherwise known as the studio.
SOT. We're going to come.
Bear News is a student-run program that provides the UNC community with weekly updates on local news and campus events. Every Thursday, the cameras come to life and mics are hot. This is where the magic happens, with the help of some of your fellow Bears.
Tuesday, their biggest pitfall was their shooting.
The Bear News program provides students with real-world experience in reporting the news, along with video and studio production. There are two sides of the studio that work together in making one episode: the anchors and the techs.
In collaboration with the University of...
The techs work behind the scenes, so many don't see what they do.
As well as the Colorado Division.
But without them, the show would be a lot different.
At the next minute. Sound good? Changes in our script and things that weren't
Technical director Emily Colville and floor director Caitlin Stoddard collaborate during production to make the show run smoothly.
During the show, I tell them what button we're pushing, what camera we're on, and then I push the button. That's my job.
I am a staff reporter and floor director for Bear News. I'm in charge of whatever is going on in here while everything is live. You know, it may seem easy to you guys when you guys watch stuff, but really it is a lot of work.
UNC students have committed to different jobs throughout the semester in order to produce a show, from audio
Turkey or Christmas and gifts. It's almost time for the UNC community
to camera work
cowboy and cowgirl up because
to switchboard.
I'm Madison. I'm the assistant producer. I help Emily figure out the bugs of the show, what's going on, what our scripts look like, if we're missing anything. And I do love the studio. It's very exciting when we count down and see what the show's going to look like.
My name is Ryan. I do audio. I really enjoyed running audio because it's something I want to get into in the future.
This group only has a couple shows left this semester, but it hasn't stopped them from improving with every episode.
One or two bullet points that you can advance graphics on that's going to make it pop a lot more.
Also, the audio varied quite a bit on that, but there was some good stuff in there. There's some good video in there. Yes, that is true.
And for some, graduation is looming just around the corner.
My name is Tanner Schwint. This is my third consecutive semester here in Bear News. I've spent 2 as a news anchor. This is my first semester being the sports director as well as being the sports anchor. Not many people have been lucky enough to be part of Bear News for 3 semesters in a row and hold an anchor position as that. And, you know, the work that goes in behind the scenes from the professors, from Dr. Edwards and what goes into this, really, really tough to do this every single week. And there's a lot of things that you don't see. And just in my time, I've seen multiple graduates go on and they're on TV and doing what they love, and it says a lot about the communication department and the journalism department.
Bear News may sound all business, but there's some time for jokes too.
Let's get to work. Sorry? Zoom in, camera 2.
Whether it's on or off camera, every position is important in the studio, all with the same goal to present timely news to the Bear community.
Now, we know who watches our shows. Hi, Mom and Dad. But it was about time you met us, the Bear News crew, and saw what we do in order to tell you what you need to know. There wasn't too much going on in the world of UNC sports this past week, and we don't really want to focus on the Bears football team's 45-14 loss to Montana State.
But that doesn't mean sports anchor Austin Sack has been working hard at work. So what do you have for this week, Austin?
College basketball is now in full swing, and the men's and women's basketball teams have already hit the wood for the 2019-2020 campaign. Both teams played this past Friday, and it was a doozy of a weekend. The women were up to play in the Bank of America Arena first against Colorado State. It was tight with the game tied at 29 apiece at the half. Second half, and a different story. Colorado State rammed through the Bears in the second half, outscoring them by 17. This loss puts the Bears at a 1-2 on the season. But they have a chance to stun Stanford tonight at 8 p.m., and you can watch that game on the Stanford livestream found on the UNC women's basketball schedule. And as for the men, they played right after the women's game ended, and they picked up their first win of the season against Incarnate Word. The Bears led at halftime by 15, but finished the game with a 21-point lead, and with their win against Colorado College on Tuesday, it gives the Bears a 2-1 record. Their next game is at 11 a.m. this Saturday at Northern Iowa, and you can catch that game on ESPN3 or hear it on 1310 KFKA. Congratulations are in order after the women's soccer team won the Big Sky tournament this past week. In the first round on Wednesday, the Bears went into overtime with Northern Arizona and escaped with a 2-1 victory with Lexi Pulley's goal in the 93rd minute. In advancing to the second round on Friday, the Bears squared off with Montana, and yet another overtime goal made the difference. Except this time, Taylor Bray scored the game clincher in the 99th minute. So that put the Bears into the Big Sky Championship game against Eastern Washington Sunday, and a low-scoring game again, and the Bears walked away 1-0 with Bray's early goal in the 9th minute. The Bears now enter in the NCAA tournament against CU in Boulder this Saturday. The game is about to kick off at noon, and be sure to get out there and support the Bears. And I don't know if it's still available, but I do know President Feinstein was actually trying to get as many students out there by offering the first 400 to fill out this survey on the website. And you actually can be eligible to get a free ticket as well as a free bus pass down there. So let's get as many Bears as we can and root for our team.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. Be sure to check in with us on our social media.
And make sure to tune in next week for our last show before Thanksgiving. And as always, have a wonderful weekend.
Good night.